Hello and welcome to the Inbetween Podcast. I'm your usual host, Joe Scorn, and I'm joined here by Tony Zanati.
Hello there, you old chump.
And if you're a keen viewer, you may see Tony's arm in the shot. I've left that in as a DVD bonus feature. Do you remember when DVDs had bonus features on them?
They're still a thing.
DVDs aren't a thing for much longer. There's one Blockbuster in the world now, and I think it operates illegally. I was watching a video on this because it goes into it doesn't have its suppliers anymore, so it just goes into like the supermarket and buys DVDs to rent.
Oh right.
Which is like kind of illegal, but
you can still buy DVDs though.
Yeah, but there's specific DVDs that says like this is not for resale or renting.
Yeah, I don't know how they can get away with that, but sure.
They're the last Blockbuster in the world, and everyone's just okay with it because they're like, well, I kind of like going to Blockbuster and renting a DVD.
Why not?
I actually killed Blockbuster the other day. I found out who killed Blockbuster, and it was me.
You didn't return something?
No, I was playing Fortnite with Dave, and there was a guy called Blockbuster. And I saw him at the start of the game, and I went, oh, Blockbuster's in the game. And then I shot someone, and Dave was like, you killed him. I was like, what? And I was like, you killed Blockbuster. I was like, shit. I'm the one who killed Blockbuster.
Did you see the, I think it was about a month ago, like, Critical was, like, talking to a kid on Fortnite. They're talking about like, the conspiracy of Blockbuster going down. It's like the kid had no idea what Blockbuster was.
I was talking to some kids on some kids on Fortnite, and they had no idea what the Matrix was.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I mean, I guess the first one came out like 99. Yeah,
that's when you know you've reached another generation when you make Matrix references and nobody knows what you're talking about.
It's just such a good. I feel like we should be showing that in schools. It's such a good film.
It's because these people are like, they're called like Eden 2006 and 2007, and it's like
Jesus.
There's like that's the year they were born, sort of thing. It's like crazy.
We have like people like 94. Spoilers.
Actually, my friend Eden, who I play Fortnite with, he's like 11 or 12 or something.
That makes sense.
And he's so jaded at the young age. I love it. I'm like, Eden, there's new skins in the store. And he's like, I'm not giving Epic Games any more fucking money. He's like, fuck Epic Games.
Already? That's great.
Yeah.
It's already cynical. That's what we want.
I got to teach the young kids the next generation of Fortnite players to be as jaded as I am with the video game industry. And it's talking about being jaded. They cut down this tree. This birchwood tree was my favourite tree, and it used to be sitting outside my window, and it would obscure this horrible lamppost, and they cut it down.
We've cropped out the lamppost from this image because it didn't deserve to be in the same image as...
It didn't deserve to be where she stood, the birchwood. It's still there as I look at it now, protruding out.
Yeah, with its light sensor at the top.
But it's gone. Rip tree.
What's really annoying, I can see it wobbling. Isn't that not annoying?
It's windy, there's not much I can do. I can't control the wind.
No, I'm saying the lamppost shouldn't be wobbling. You shouldn't need to see it wobbling.
It's like my parents were gone and it was super windy, and then some plant pots knocked over and I put them back.
Yeah.
And then they came back and the plant spot were knocked over, and they're like, we asked you to watch this stuff. I was like, I can't control the wind. I can't just stop it from blowing things over.
Again and again, yeah.
But should we move on to the news topic, which is from, speaking of Fortnite, extending Fortnite crossplay beta launches on PS4 starting today. Xbox players and Sony PS4 players can now play with each other. They finally gave in to everyone's demand.
Well, I'm still hoping the fact you can...
And I think Switch as well.
I'm hoping you can eventually use your same account across different... Like from Sony.
Give them a chance to not be assholes. Because they probably won't, but this is pretty much just Sony being like, fuck you, and everyone's been shitting on them for ages, and now they've finally given in.
It's ridiculous that they locked their account so you couldn't use it anywhere else. You had to reapply the skins.
Did you hear, I think I seen the video, but apparently you get like a much higher percentage of clicks per minute on your ads if you don't swear in your video.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
And I was just like, I'm not gonna fucking stop swearing.
Well,
we don't
this is
even
a
have
fucking
ads
family.
anyway, so.
I
I just thought it was interesting, like
it's interesting.
how like Ninja, the biggest Twitch streamer who has like I think 11 million subs on YouTube now or something. He made a decision to stop swearing when he got really big at Fortnite, and that he must be making bank off ad revenue. There's like no way he's not.
I don't know. I just feel like I'd rather like if I don't think we're ever gonna get there, but I just feel like being supported for Patreon is like just a way better system and not have ads.
Anyway, I think this is good news for PS4 players. Hopefully, Sony takes their thumb up their arse and does some other shit.
Yeah. Or I hope it's eventually good news for people who decide to get their Epic account infected by Sony. What hopefully?
Well, we see like massive. It's not like console exclusives now. It's skin exclusives. We've come to a point where there's a exclusive skin for Xbox on Fortnite, exclusive skin for Switch, exclusive skin for PS4. Where it's like, oh, there's an exclusive skin for the Samsung Galaxy, which is the Galaxy skin, and people are dubbing it like the $900 fucking skin or something because you have to get like an S9 or something. But it's like, there is console exclusives, but the way of how popular Fortnite is now is like it's skin exclusive, and it's TF2 the skin economy.
Why does it have to be exclusive to that package? Why can't it be like, oh, if you get it with the Xbox, you get it for free, but you can also then buy it for like more money than everything else because it's like an exclusive skin.
Well, there's exclusives you get for playing it on the platform, and there's some where they come bundled with a PS4.
But I just think there should be no like pure exclusives. Like it should be just like, oh, you get this thing for free if you buy it on that if you play it on that platform. Because I think it's annoying for some people that want all the skins.
Yeah, and those people would probably buy a PS4.
People that wouldn't buy a Galaxy.
They'd probably buy a Galaxy. If you're somebody who's like a whale, is rich enough to collect all the skins, you don't understand how much money it would cost to collect every skin in Fortnite. We're talking thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
The fact that another skin only costs another 1,000 is nothing.
A legendary skin is 2,000 V-Bucks, which is 20 quid for one skin.
Yeah.
And people are willing to pay that. And there's lots of legendary skins. There's lots of epic skins, which are like 15 quid.
Just too like, we stopped calling them microtransactions. Call them macrotransactions.
Macrotransactions.
Because they're not micro in the slightest.
Well, you can get like, I think it's like 13,000 V-Bucks for only 80
That's
quid.
That's not micro. That's macro.
Yeah.
That's buying another game.
I stopped giving money to Epic. I was like, I'm just gonna do the horrible thing of playing Save the World, and
to get the V-Bucks.
To get the V-Bucks from the daily quest.
Weren't they thinking of stopping that at some point though?
They said Save the World was going to go free to play this year, and it's October.
Yeah.
So
it's still this year, to be fair.
And I've been saying this the whole time. I've been like, Fortnite Save the World is free to play. They're just charging money for it.
Yeah.
Like it's not a great game. It's a very grindy, free to play game full of microtransactions.
Yeah. Oh, a shame, really. Because it's kind of the game mode I kind of like, but it's like not implemented well. Feels bad.
Phil is a bad man.
He is.
Should we move on? Also talking about Epic Games and Fortnite. Epic Games have acquired the anti-cheat company Kamu, which, if you don't know, makes Easy Cheat, which is the main anti-cheat for Fortnite already. And also, funnily enough, Easy Anti-Cheat, I believe, is also used in PUBG, which is another thing Epic Games now owns about PUBG. They own the Unreal Engine 4 and the anti-cheat they use. So I think Brendan Green's going to be pretty pissed off about that.
He's going to go to court again.
Another personal lawsuit against Epic Games in Korea.
Only in Korea.
But I think this is a really fucking smart idea.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
They can now own one of the bigger anti-cheat softwares because there's massive cheating in all Battle Royale games because it's the most popular game. Everyone wants to, everyone wants to be good at it and they're willing to do whatever it takes. But now they can specifically develop this to help Fortnite have better anti-cheat.
Yeah,
because they now have the team, and these
they tell them what the problems are themselves.
I read some people saying like it's less so they're buying the company, but they're buying very talented anti-cheat developers.
Well, they're able to go like, oh, these are the problems that we've personally had, and now we can actually tell you what the specific problems we want you to fix are. Like there's like a more discussion going on now because they can like sign NDAs and things.
Moving on. Mike Mornheim is stepping down from Blizzard to be succeeded as president of Blizzard Entertainment by J. Allen Brack. This is big news. This is now.
I don't know much about many Blizzard employees. Yeah. I knew Ben Brode. I don't really know anyone else.
Okay.
So why is this big news?
Well, he's now been taken over by J. Allen Brack, and if you don't know, you think you don't know.
Oh, okay.
But
so he's that guy.
He is the guy who said you think you want to play Classic WoW, but you don't. Yeah, he's been running the company for a very long time, and people have been, saying that they want to change. So.
Oh, so he's like people think that he was stopping it, or
people think this may shake up Blizzard, or
they replace it with the guy that you think you do, but you don't.
Well, they replace him with the guy who's been working on World of Warcraft for a very long time, whereas Blizzard's focus in 2016 was very much Overwatch.
Yeah.
And now Overwatch has dropped down a little bit. And people think this may bring a focus back to World of Warcraft,
or just bigger split across all their games.
We'll talk about soon, especially with Classic WoW coming out soon, and now we're seeing some stuff being put in Diablo, kind of the forgotten franchise of apart from Lost Vikings, but they got a Heroes of the Storm character.
But Heroes also got Deckard Cain though.
I left Tony's arm in the shot because I think some people who are watching this for the first time don't realise he sat next to me every single one.
We used to do this over Discord, but we don't anymore.
He's actually sat right next to me. That's why sometimes I look over here because I'm talking to Tony.
But I'm not allowed to be on air.
Well, let's just say the CIA does not want you to see this live stream.
Or the NSA. Or the MI6.
I was thinking about this the other day.
Actually, MI5 is the.
I was thinking about this the other day. The police levels in the US. There's so many. There's Homeland Security, FBI, CIA, the police, the sheriffs, the what else is there? There's the ATF, NCIS. There's Internal Affairs.
To be fair, they have lots of countries. Well, not really countries, but they have to have state police. Then
they have state.
Then they have to we're also
US Marshals.
They also love the military, so we need that type of police as well. So it's kind of crazy, yeah.
It's super confusing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
some of them make sense, not all of them. Bring it back to Blizzard.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a big change.
I think
moving from one of the original guys to now someone who's been working on World of Warcraft for a long time.
How long was the other guy? Blimey. 27 years, did that say? Yeah. That's crazy.
He's someone who built the original Blizzard, and now they're moving it towards someone who's been working on kind of World of Warcraft for 12 years.
Yeah.
It's kind of the big move.
So the old president knew all about the Lost Vikings.
Yeah. Before they were Blizzard.
Yeah. Before they made it big.
We'll move on to the this piece of Blizzard news, which is the World of Warcraft BlizzCon ticket, the virtual ticket, will include a demo for Classic WoW. And this is big news. This is the first time we're going to see Classic WoW, how Blizzard has turned it into...
I assume they're allowed to make videos on what they are?
Yeah,
there's no NDA or embargo.
There's going to be a lot of people with this virtual ticket, so I'd assume...
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's no way they could stop them. It's not like an exclusive closed beta. They're going to want people to advertise this. So I think there's no way.
Yeah, you'd think, but some companies are really fucking weird, so...
I will mention some people are upset that you had to pay for a demo of a game that came out over 10 years ago that you already bought.
It's not... I would argue
that is a valid criticism of this.
I sort of agree, but I also disagree. It's not really. It's not like when it comes out, it's the demo. It's like an early access.
We still don't know if Blizzard's going to charge for Classic WoW to buy Classic WoW, and we have no idea if they're going to charge a separate subscription just to play Classic WoW.
That's fair.
So this is kind of like people going, well, if they're charging to play the demo of Classic WoW, in a way, it's kind of behind a paywall.
Yes, but I don't think it's a demo. I think it's more of like a sneak preview demo, which is
is a demo.
Yeah, no, but it's not out yet, so it's not a demo of a release game.
Yeah, it is. It's been released for over 10 years.
No, but it's not. They haven't made it properly again. They're still developing it. Because they've lost all their code.
They're probably just going to take the code from Nostarius and go, well, here we go, here's the game. We wanted to give you this for ages. We just had to sue a couple of people who were trying to do what we thought you didn't want, which you think you do, but you actually did.
We weren't losing any money from it, so we decided to waste some money to try and sue them.
That's J. Allen Brack on the screen. And this is Ian Hazakosis, who's now the leader of World of Warcraft.
Yeah. Game director.
Anyway, but some people were annoyed also that usually in the virtual ticket there's a mount or a pet.
Yeah.
We did see that instead of having a mount in the virtual ticket like last year where you had the gunship, they now have offered a pirate ship mount with if you purchase 6 months of game time. And some people were saying this was a panic button because some people were saying that they didn't like the way that what's it called, the new WoW expansion? I've been playing it. Battle for Azeroth was going.
Yeah, okay.
With the new Azerite systems and the way that the overall game design's working.
Okay.
It might just be ill-timed. Also, speaking of Blizzard, we've got a actual section in the BlizzCon schedule, the 2nd of November, for Diablo. They're going to announce what's next for Diablo. We already know about the Nintendo Switch announcement. So
they're showing that off, or they're doing something else.
Given the fact they're just releasing Diablo 3 for the Switch, I don't think they're going to release Diablo 3. They're not going to announce Diablo 4. Or probably not Diablo 2 HD.
Will they not release another class, another expansion for it or something?
They just released a Necromancer last year, so I don't know if they'd be willing to release another class.
It was announced 2 years ago or something. So I remember a trailer.
It was last year.
Okay.
2017, I think. 2016, somewhere around there. Okay. I think it was 2017, actually.
Okay, I think the trailer's in 2016 then. Okay.
I have the internet in front of me.
We do. Google's right there.
June 27, 2017, I guess. No, this is Rise of the Necromancer, which was the DLC. Hang on.
Yeah.
Diablo 3 Necromancer.
It was 2017.
Yeah, it was 2017.
Okay. So I guess it was just, I don't think of the trailer from 2016.
I think given the fact that they're going to be supporting it on Switch, they're probably going to try and extend the life of Diablo 3 even more, which means adding more content. Maybe a second expansion for Diablo 3. We'll have to see. I think that's probably the best bet given the way that they're going with the Switch announcement.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Switch announcement, people thought there would probably be cross-play between the Switch, the console versions, and the PC. That would make the most sense. Bring all the platforms together.
That is the new theme.
But Blizzard have announced they have no cross-play plans for Diablo 3 at all at this time, which means no, not unless people get angry about it. Pretty much.
If they get vocal, then we might get it.
Moving on, Katamari Damacy is getting a remaster and it's coming to PC this year. The remaster will be coming to PC on Steam, based on previous Bandai Namco ports have gone through Steam, and Switch, and the PC and the Switch version will both be released on December 7th. Bandai Namco said in a tweet. So, interesting. It's a game I've always been interested to play, but never actually been able to play. So, I will definitely be putting this on my wish list and maybe picking it up.
Never played it. I've heard of it.
Looks good.
I want to play. What was that donut one? It's like the opposite of it.
Donut County.
Yeah.
Where you play a hole in the ground and you have to suck things up.
That's great.
It's a PS4 exclusive though. So you're going to have to wait for them to remaster it on PC like 10 years later.
I need a PS4 anyway, but yeah.
Nobody needs a PS4.
I want to play Spider-Man. I need to listen to what's the Lady Bugle guy called? Jameson being Alex Jones.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Next up, Dead Rising studio Capcom Vancouver shut down. I read on Kotaku that we see Capcom's main Western studio is being shut down. The publisher confirmed today. Employees at Capcom Vancouver will be primarily known for the Dead Rising series.
Known for anything else?
I have no idea.
I only know them for Dead Rising.
According to Capcom, 158 people will lose their jobs due to the shutdown. A skeleton crew will remain until January 2009 to finalise closure operations and logistics. Capcom Vancouver was founded in 2005. The studio's main output was Dead Rising games, the third-person action game. I've personally played Dead Rising. I was a fan of it. I think it was a really cool game where you're kind of trapped in a mall for, I think it was like 72 hours before the military got there, and you kind of had to craft weapons and trying to escape, and there was like multiple endings or things you could do based on how you used your time.
Yeah, it was a very interesting game. I'm not sure I haven't played the newer ones though.
There was like they made a third one and a fourth one.
Yeah,
I believe, but I never played past number 2.
I think I owned the third one but never played it when it was like on sale or something. I think, but yeah, I've never given it a chance. Like it looked a little bit too brown.
Apparently, Capcom had a layoffs hitting 30% of the studio.
Oh, early this year. Okay.
So, seems like this was coming. We also saw the shutdown of Telltale recently, so this could be showing how it's harder for some studios to keep afloat.
Yeah, but
if they're not making money on their
games.
games.
Wonder how self-inflicted it is by Capcom though, because they won't.
I feel like these are very big budget games that may not be getting the biggest returns based on how Capcom can treat its player base.
Because Capcom do not like their player base whatsoever.
I think Dead Rising may have been like Dead Rising 3 or 4 may have been like a Microsoft exclusive. Like it was Xbox One and Microsoft Windows, which is Windows 10 platform exclusive. I remember.
2014.
And I think there was a Dead Rising 4. Dead Rising 4 was released through Steam, but had mixed reviews.
I had Lenovo and
have a look. Let's read some of the. It did have mixed reviews
what if
on there.
You bought a game, but then you just used the pirated version because it doesn't have Lenovo? Is that legal?
No.
You've already bought it though. Can't lose any sales.
What if you bought a Snickers bar?
Yeah.
But then you stole a Snickers bar as well? Would that be illegal?
No. If you stole the Snickers bar, then you made your own Snickers bar and didn't eat the original. They still got their money.
Okay. No, it's definitely not legal. You're talking about morality, not legality.
No, but
it's definitely
legality requires you to lose a sale.
You may feel that morally it's all right. It's still definitely illegal to steal.
I think it'd be hard to prove that they've lost money though, which is how you actually determine if it is proper piracy, or how you can be at least
Well, the argument for piracy is conventional game sales. You print a physical copy of a game.
Yeah.
It's like going into a store and stealing a candy bar, right? Piracy is like you go into a store that has unlimited candy bars and you take a candy bar. But what you're stealing is not the candy bar, but it's the potential of your sale.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. If you've already bought it, they've got your sale. But because then you're annoyed about the DRM, you then pirate it just to play it.
Morally, yeah.
I think
legally, no.
I think legally it should be fine as well, though. Or you shouldn't add the DRM in the first place.
How the hell would you write into a legal bill you can steal something as long as you already own it? How are you going to pass that?
I think you could, but yeah, it's a bit awkward. You could just say like if they've no loss of money, like 100%, then it's fine. But
I'm cutting you off. You're out of here. Next up, we have VR. So the Oculus Quest is the new $400 standalone VR headset shipping next year. This is the big flagship headset. It's coming spring 2019. It's boasting arena scale tracking. I'll get a video for you if you want to watch. This is an arena full of people, and they're all wearing Oculus Quests. And it tracks through 4 wide-angle cameras in the front. So there's no outside lighthouses. So you can do room-scale VR just through the headset.
Okay.
And
how does it know where the edges of the area are, though?
It sees them through the camera.
Like, sees what, though? Like, how does it know what's there? Like,
Uses the...
So just camera, like detecting its distance from, like, another object?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it says it supports at least 4,000 square feet of space without lighthouse trackers. Is the same resolution as the Go, which is the 100, 200 pound headset, which uses 16,000 times 1440p resolution per eye. And it's essentially the same controllers as the Touch. They kind of moved one of the finger holders up a little bit, but it's essentially the same. I didn't think it was worth mentioning that they were different. They're pretty much the same.
It's like slightly ergonomically different.
Yeah, but if you see the video here, they're showing how all of these people are all being tracked in VR in real time just through the headsets. And they're calling it arena scale VR because they're saying, you can get 4,000 square feet if you somehow just own a random warehouse and then just play this VR game. I suppose
reason.
we saw in a previous episode we did see some VR esports, so this is going to be the new esports arena.
Oh wow!
Where you play VR esports.
I don't understand.
VR esports looks hilarious, and I think it's amazing, and I want it to continue because I like watching it.
Yeah.
Because then people are like, esports is not a real sport, but imagine how physically demanding playing VR is. Like, you're gonna have like world-class athletes running around with this sweaty headset and trying to like frag people. That's gonna be amazing to watch. But the VR Quest does actually look really good. I think from everything I've seen of it, before it comes out early next year, it looks like a headset to get. I think, given the way things going, the mass adoption there is with PSVR because people are in the PlayStations. Yes. But I do think I was like Vive was the way to go, but I actually think Oculus has done a fantastic job. The Oculus Go, it's pretty much just like an Android phone strapped to your face, and it's a completely standalone wireless experience that I've used myself, and I think the controllers for what they are for that are actually fantastic. And if you want to sit down and watch videos, like, it's great for that.
I still don't understand. I don't understand using VR to watch videos.
You understand.
No, I don't.
Everyone understands. They just don't want to say it.
No, I don't understand. It's not for me.
What's that saying? It's like the thing that pushes innovation is the acquisition of wealth, and porn pushes technology further than anything else in the world. And that's why,
both at the same time.
That's why the Oculus Go is one of the best headsets out there, because it's a dedicated device for that.
I think combining two things like wealth pushes technology and porn sells.
Yeah.
Those two combined creates this. But I honestly still don't understand. It's not for me, Joe.
Okay.
It's not for me.
Then we had Minecraft Earth. So Minecon has gone from being a convention to now being a live stream all across the world.
Exactly.
Called
Somebody else will
Minecon
take 10
Earth.
minutes. Somebody will take...
This is kind of the live stream we had, and it was just kind of a cringe festival.
It's in the Littlewood, also known as Martin.
AKA in the Littlewood, AKA Martin. Yeah, they kind of got some of the bigger Minecraft YouTubers to try and promote it. And one of the we did get a big announcement for this, which I was not expecting, which was Minecraft Dungeons got announced. And apparently Minecraft Dungeons is a 4-person... It's a 4-person co-op game where you go into... It's kind of like a dungeon crawler, I think. But from everything I saw of the trailer...
It's just Minecraft.
It looks like Minecraft. It's called Minecraft. It plays like Minecraft from what I could see. And it's just Minecraft. How is this not just
it's
Minecraft?
like it's slightly more structured Minecraft, yeah.
I feel like all of this you could do in Minecraft.
Yes, you could build. They should have made this a mod or a version of Minecraft.
I think this is just Microsoft trying to cash in on the Minecraft hype before people forget about it.
I just add these mobs and like mechanics to the main game.
This is going to be a standalone game. This is not coming to Minecraft.
I will guarantee that someone will mod this.
I'll guarantee someone will make Minecraft dungeons in Minecraft.
And they will be good. I'm not sure the generation of the dungeon. Let's make like a new...
This is just like a cinematic trailer, but I'm going to have to see.
For the mod, if they made it so like you had to generate a new dimension to generate
But the story of this could be from Minecraft story mode. That
rest
terrible
in peace.
thing that exists.
Rest in peace.
This is coming to PC in 2019, so they haven't announced this for consoles yet.
I guess we're going to be the ones testing
I'm
the alpha.
assuming this will be made in C++ or a different programming language. I don't think they're going. I think
it's not Java, no.
No, I don't think they'll be making this in
no
Java.
one makes games in Java.
If they're not making this in Java, this will be a completely different game engine almost from the original Minecraft, at least.
Yeah, but so is the Bedrock edition already.
Yeah.
It's the C++ version.
But there won't be a split between Java and C++ as there is now because of mods. So maybe they're just trying to streamline their products one way.
My problem is there's going to be no mods for this.
You don't know that.
Well, unless they make a modding API, there'll be no mods.
They need to make a modding API, and what they need you to do is every block in the game should be destructible, and you should be able to place blocks down, and you should be able to like build houses and stuff when you're outside
like
the dungeon.
Some sort of map creator, with like survival mode.
You need some sort of Swedish
Yeah.
guy to build this entire world made of cubes, and what you do is you take the cubes and you build your own world out of the cubes.
Should there like animals and like killing like some sort of like some weird like skeletons?
And if you sleep in a bed, it should explode.
Oh right, yeah.
Anyway,
don't sleep in the nether, kid. It's bad for your health.
I'm gonna have to see what the fuck's going on with this because to me, all it looks like is Minecraft 2.
As far as I'm saying, like they could add like a randomized in the main game. They added like a system where like you create like a portal that makes a random like every time you create a new portal, it like randomizes like a new dungeon in that one dimension. Why can't that be a system?
Already got a preview of Roblox through Kanye West, Roblox 2, with his "I Love It" video.
Yeah, it's very realistic graphics, really.
Well, moving on again. Gearbox's CEO Randy Pitchford was scammed out of $3 million by his personal assistants. And the Pitchfords won a $2 million judgment against John Wright Martin earlier this year, but he has since disappeared. So from what I read, that they apparently hired this personal assistant for Randy, and he had like a company credit card.
Yeah. And
you just started charging personal expenses to it. And I even read, I think it might be in here somewhere, he bought like a $500,000 house with it before they realised. Or something like that.
Why'd they just get... You don't just get... It
just seems crazy.
He
also purchased a $591,000 home in a Weatherly neighborhood in Frisco, donated $10,000 to charity, at least 7 checks on Christie Pitchford accounts worth more than $73,000. Martin got better and better at finding ways of spending our money. This is a Sega agent sent in. If you don't know, people were saying they didn't feel bad about this. Some people had no empathy after Gearbox and Randy allegedly embezzled money from Sega over alien colonial marines, and then they were contractually or like legally they couldn't sue them because of legal ramifications. I'm not the expert on this. I don't know too much. I'll be upfront about that. But that was interesting. Because a lot of people were very upset about alien colonial marines. It was pretty much spearheaded by Jim Sterling, saying it was illegal how they, flipped from the advertising campaign to what the final product, and how it shot from like the day one player base when they lost like 65. Yeah, the game lost 65% of its player base in 1 week.
Yeah,
like it was crazy how much it dropped.
A lot of people wanted their money back.
But that was I thought that was interesting seeing. Randy Pitchford is a character, as we will say. I think
he's a character.
I thought I'd tie this in.
He's a character who knows Jim Sterling, like who doesn't like him. It's like
Jim Sterling guy.
Like, just calls him like, oh, he's like the game journalist with a British accent.
Who's the game journalist?
Who is that?
Who's the game journalist with a British accent?
I don't know who you're talking
Jim
about.
Sterling. Who's Jim Sterling? I've never heard of Jim Sterling. Like, he pretends not to know who Jim Sterling is, despite
knowing who he is.
Knowing exactly who he is, obviously.
If you know someone but don't know their name, you still know who they are. So, Randy, you're crazy.
But speaking of Randy Pitchford losing $3 million, Borderlands 2 VR's coming out, so Randy Pitchford might get his millions back.
Oh dear.
So here's the trailer for it.
It looks good.
So based on everything I've seen of the trailer, the controllers in the trailer are the PlayStation Move controllers.
So this is... Okay.
And based on the store page linked in the trailer, it seems to be It seems to be a PlayStation VR exclusive. So I'll let the trailer play out so you can watch it. But from everything, it's unconfirmed. But from everything we've seen so far, it looks like to be a PSVR exclusive. And based on the way he's holding the guns, it looks like there's motion tracking on the guns. So maybe the Move controllers you'll be able to use them as guns. I'm not sure on that. It does look good though.
Yeah. I just tell there's no motion sickness or anything,
but if you look
here, yeah, that is Move. Yeah,
the Move controllers and they've got PlayStation controls.
I do like the environment menus actually, pretty nice. Oh yeah, exploding guns everywhere is gonna look fantastic, isn't it?
I was a big fan of Borderlands 2. I got the Game of the Year edition. I put like 40-50 hours into it. Read through all the game and the DLC. I thought it was a really great game. And I'd be interested to play it in VR. So.
Just need to get a warehouse for it.
I just need a PSVR. Apparently.
Yeah.
I think this is a really good idea to make a lot of money, given Randy Pitchford just lost $3 million to his personal assistant. So maybe Randy Pitchford's assistants can buy another house with this.
Maybe Randy can buy another house.
Yeah. Anyway, we should move on. Speaking of people getting sued, John Carmach and Zenimax settled their $22.5 million lawsuit after the overdue money from the purchase of id Software. John Carmach sold id Software to Zenimax, and there was some overdue money, and they settled the dispute of his personal lawsuit against them, and they've settled for $22.5 million. This, you remember us talking about earlier, the Oculus lawsuit is still going on. So Zenimax is still suing John. Is still ongoing with in terms of Oculus and the Facebook acquisition.
Oh right, yes.
That's still going on. So that was interesting to see. Next up, we have Skybound Games, and we reported earlier that Telltale had multiple partners willing to help them finish the Walking Dead series.
Or in this case, buy it off them to finish it themselves.
They've said they've reached a deal with Telltale Games that will allow Skybound to continue the final season of The Walking Dead, wrapping up the story for the people out there, which is cool.
Apparently,
yeah.
Plus, the CEO of Skybound,
yep,
is the person who created The Walking Dead.
Is it? I actually know nothing about Skybound Games. I'll be honest.
Apparently, he's the comic book guy. That's what I've been told, but I've never actually bothered to try and confirm this. But
Skybound Entertainment is the company behind the long-running comic The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So yes, Skybound Games is actually the people who made The Walking Dead comic. So this actually makes a lot of sense that it's coming home, just like the World Cup was for England.
Someone saying as well that they wanted to rehire some of the people let go, but not every. They have more than one project going at Telltale, so that doesn't mean they're going to get all 250 people with jobs again. So it's a bit. It's still a bit dicey.
I'm assuming they already had their own team.
Yeah, but he said.
What
the guy
games
said
have they made before? They made the comic. Skybound Entertainment made the comic.
Yeah.
In 2018, Skybound created Skybound Games to create games. So it seems they haven't literally. They made it this year.
Yeah.
They were going to make some video games based on their IPs, and then they were like, "Well, we own we had The Walking Dead and we gave it to Telltale to work on, and now they're, hitting the shit's hitting the fan. Let's get it back and actually finish one of our properties. Cool to see.
I just hope they do rehire some people to complete the Walking Dead series.
Speaking of people acquiring IPs, THQ Nordic
at it again
have acquired the IPs for the Alone in the Dark, a Lovecraftian survival horror game series, and Act of War, a real-time strategy game featuring a story by New York Times bestselling author Del Brown from the Atari.
I'm just gonna write Alone in the Dark because I don't really know anything about.
Yeah,
Act of War.
I only know about Alone in the Dark, and I only know about the terrible game that came out. Called Alone in the Dark? No, wait, what?
2016, wasn't it? Someone made a You talking about the original Alone in the Dark that was shit?
The 2008
like that
one.
Yeah,
that's the one I was talking about.
Someone made a 2016 one.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't know this existed.
Or 2015, it said.
Alone in the Dark Illumination?
Yes, that was even worse.
Well, I didn't know this existed.
I played the 2008 Alone in the Dark, and it was very weird. Yeah, it's like 3 classes, and then you basically just have a torch to shine on enemies. You can't hurt them unless you have a torch.
Well, THQ Nordic has the IP now, so hopefully they will do...
It was absolutely shit. I'm just gonna... I mean, look at this. This is like Steam Direct trailer.
Yeah, it's just like pretty bad. Anyway, move on. Valve is to start moderating its Steam game forums. Obviously, and previously they've had a kind of a hands-off approach. They now want to moderate it more closely. It used to be kind of like a cesspool of shit.
Yeah,
a lot of like terrible stuff was uploaded, and it was just so unmoderated that it wasn't worth checking. But maybe it will be now that they're actually gonna look at it, and
it's like
they're gonna warn or ban people on there.
And if you're a game developer or publisher, you can opt out of it if you're doing it yourself. So you can opt out of Valve's moderation if you would rather moderate your own forums or
for your game.
Or let it be a load of shit if that's what you want as well.
Which is nice that you'd have the default moderation from Steam there in case you don't want to moderate that.
Yeah,
because
it's on by default, and then if you really don't want it because you're doing it yourself, then you can opt out of it, which I think is the best way of doing it.
It's really messy at the moment. If you've ever gone into
there's no point to it. It's like they're really poorly. Yeah, it's just awful. I never use it, and when I do have to use it, it's shit.
Yeah, I always find that like the community hub is like a big mess of like images and this. I'm having this very specific bug and it doesn't work for me and stuff like that, and I'm like, this is so hard to navigate or use.
Yeah.
But we'll move on to another piece of Steam news. The Steam Link has had a client update which supports streaming to multiple devices using an Android phone only as a touch controller, which is very interesting. And you can also now play local co-op by streaming to multiple devices simultaneously.
That is interesting.
High quality 5 GHz Wi-Fi network is required, though. So if you're streaming to a phone as well as
you can't use the 2.4 or 2.5 GHz range then. It has to go through the 5 GHz.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so it's like really close range then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is like if you're in your living room and you're like playing Rocket League on your TV, and then somebody could play on their phone as long as they're like connected to the Wi-Fi and they had the 5 GHz capability on their phone.
Most houses you can have like the entire range of your house with 5 GHz. So.
But that's interesting to see. We'll move on to Hitman 2 has announced Ghost Mode. I don't know if you've seen this. But Ghost Mode is basically a 1v1 best of 5 assassination between 2 players. So
it's not for me, but I'm glad it's. I'm glad. Well, I'm not.
I think it looks cool.
I like PvE stuff, so. I'm glad it exists though, because I think that's going to make more people play it, and I can see like
you're playing against each other in real time. You kind of don't exist. You exist in different worlds.
I'm saying is that this is going to be a donkey video in the making.
Where he plays against other people.
Yeah,
I always loved his balloon hunt videos for Super Mario Odyssey.
Be careful. A spotted kill does not count.
Yeah, so in this game mode, you have to silently assassinate people.
Yeah.
And you're each in your own world. So if your opponent's making a really messy game, at any time you can be doing, just a completely silent, unseen one.
Be cunning, be creative.
So this looks really cool.
It's like a really weird instance idea, but I think it's a cool idea, just not for me.
Well, I mean, they've never really had multiplayer in Hitman, so this is kind of their way of doing it without having tacked on multiplayer where you're all playing Agent 76, you just go around shooting everyone with multiplayer rifles. Do you remember how
10 years ago that's what happened?
Every single game had that. It was like, and now
from 2006.
What's that game with Nathan Drake?
Uncharted.
Now Uncharted has tacked on multiplayer. You remember that game where you're a treasure hunter and you have to stealthily take people out? Now you can run around and shoot each other with rifles.
The first two Resistance games had really awful tacked on multiplayer.
I remember a Bioshock 2 had tacked on multiplayer that was pretty awful. It's like
I had a good idea though, but yeah, it was pretty awful.
It's because I think it was a game in a point in the video game industry where they were like, people love multiplayer, and people were. This is a point where we're still releasing a lot of single player games. Their fear was, if we don't release a game with multiplayer, people aren't going to play it.
They put a lot of bullshit into They said a lot of stuff like, oh, it's replayability. It's like, no, it's not.
So there was just like a certain time in video game history where everything just had tacked on multiplayer.
It's from like 2006
because we went from single player to single player with tacked on multiplayer because multiplayer games are getting huge recognition. We're now at a point where
single player's dead apparently.
We're now at a point where multiplayer is like massive, but we're still seeing single player games are doing really successfully.
Yeah,
so there's definitely a player base for them. I think they're going to exist as separate entities. People who want to play the single player games are going to keep buying them, and people who like the multiplayer games are going to keep buying them and playing them. And I think they can exist as like different.
Yeah, there's different
entities.
There's different niches. There's different archetypes of what people want from their games.
But I think this is a really creative idea of going, well, we've got the Hitman style, and we know people would like to play this with their friends, and we're going to do it the Hitman way. We're not going to tack on a shitty Call of Duty-esque multiplayer arena fighter sort of thing. We're going to be like, well, you can now directly fight against your friends or other people and see who's the better assassin, which I think is really cool.
It's pretty great. It's not tacked on at all. It feels right, and it's maybe not something I want to play, but it's good nonetheless.
Planet Coaster is getting a World's Fair pack coming soon. You're interested in Planet Coaster?
Yes. Still don't own it, apparently.
You still don't own it?
No.
You not bought it in a sale?
I know. There's many sales and I still don't
But you're now going to get different monumental things from all over the world. Which is cool. It's kind of like a little teaser trailer. So it would appear you're just going to get different, attractions from all over the world to add to your roller coaster park, which is really cool.
I find it interesting they called it World's Fair though. That's like a Victorian thing, but yeah.
Okay. Moving on. CG Projekt Red have established a long-term partnership with Digital Scape Studio on Cyberpunk 2077. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it.
I say 2000. I say 20. I say 2077.
2077.
Yeah.
And if you don't know who Digital Scapes are, they have worked on Company of Heroes, Warhammer 4000, Dying Light, Prototype, and many other games.
Yeah.
So this is a very interesting company. They originally hailed from BioWare, Radical Entertainment, and Relic. So there's definitely a lot of talented people in there. I'm really excited to see how this turns out because there's definitely a lot of games that I heard in the previous developments that I personally thought were great games and have played myself. So this will be cool to see how this turns out, and I'm excited for Cyberpunk 2077.
I'm pretty hyped for it.
Based on the gameplay we saw in a previous episode.
Well, I think based upon what CD Projekt Red has put out before, and they don't like DRM, and they don't like microtransactions. They don't like loot boxes, obviously. But yeah, it looks really good.
We got a strange announcement. Stardew Valley is coming to mobile.
Makes sense.
We got some news to share. Stardew Valley is coming to mobile. It's releasing on the iOS App Store in just over 2 weeks from this announcement. So October 24th. which is, what's the date today? The 14th. So it's 10 days from now. About a week and a half.
It was be it'd be a paid thing. Yeah.
Good idea. There's no announcement for Android at the moment. It's just exclusively for iOS. It's the full game, not a cut down version, and it plays almost identically to the main game on PC. But the main difference is it's a touchscreen gaming.
If they bring it to Android, I think I might actually pick it up.
So it's going to be £8, $8 or €9 based on your regional equivalent. It's 1.3 single player content, such as the night market, but there won't be multiplayer, of course. They won't be able to support that on the mobile at the moment. PC players can transfer their save data to the iOS version, so you can
iTunes.
just so you can. Well, it's the way the Apple Store works. It's more a limitation of that. I don't
know. I'm not sure how that would work. I don't know. I've never used.
So if you wanted to purchase this and use your Stardew Valley farm on the go, you could transfer your saves over and do that.
So you could upload it and re-download it for you could switch it between your computer and.
There's no announcement on whether you can take the mobile farm and move it back to PC, but I'm assuming that might be something.
I assume if it's via iTunes.
They said the Secret Police are currently working on finishing up the Android version, and they hope to give you more information on when that will come out.
I find it odd that the Android versions take longer, but I guess there's more Android variants and more hardware differences, which is it's like PC to console.
It's like designing for Macs versus designing for PC.
Yeah.
You have to account for way more things.
Mac's basically a console for computing, and then the ones are.
But I think having Stardew Valley on a touchscreen is going to be actually really good for the system.
Yeah,
I feel like it's going to be really easy to port that over, and I think maybe it could have even been played on a touchscreen the whole time. I don't think they're going to have to change much, to be honest with you. I think the system that's set up at the moment is pretty much already great for this, and I feel that it will be a great little game on the go. I think it's already been ported to Switch, and people seem to enjoy it on the Switch. I think it's a great game for that system, and I think this is another great, mobile game where you can play it. I say mobile game, I mean you can play it on the go.
Yeah, I'm saying
wherever you are.
I feel like because Switch doesn't have touchscreen, I feel like it's be a lot better with touchscreen.
Switch does have a touchscreen.
Does it actually work? Does it? Okay, I've never actually seen it in use. So,
I think it's mainly for the menus. When I used it,
so you can't use it for Stardew Valley though at the moment. It's still the
Switch.
My point still stands.
I don't know if they use it in games. I think it's basically for the menu.
Okay, so you can't use it.
But it does have a touchscreen, because I've used one. I was like, I wonder if this has a touchscreen, and it does. So.
It's just a shame that because if you could play the Switch version with touchscreen controls, it'd be pretty good.
The problem is they really wanted to make this distinction between docked mode and undocked mode, and then if they put stuff in there that you had to use the touchscreen. You wouldn't be able to use it in docked mode.
Yeah, that's fine. But for in Stardew Valley's case, you'd have in docked mode, you'd obviously have to use the controllers, but then you can then use touchscreen.
Stardew Valley Switch. I
see. There was touch controls as a search there.
I think you mainly use the controller. You probably could use the touchscreen.
When you were searching, so I think someone else searched they put touch controls instead of just controls.
Because I haven't played it on the Switch, so I have no idea.
I don't think. It seems you can't.
It says it lacks touch controls on Switch. But it doesn't on mobile. Get wrecked, Nintendo. That looks good. We'll move on from there. We've now seen Beat Saber is now the 7th best rated Steam game of all time. This makes me think that Beat Saber is the killer app for VR.
It is very good.
It's really good. I've played it personally myself on the Vive, and I really enjoyed it. It's fucking fantastic. There's tons of mod support, so people are making their own songs.
Some of them are a bit bullshit. My favourite one is Shrek.
The entire movie of Shrek.
Yes.
There's a great video of Adam Plaze, Your Movie Sucks, through the entirety of Shrek on Beat Saber. And it has beat for beat all of the sounds of the movie.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. but it's ranked 7th with 5,761 positive reviews. People were saying there's no killer app for VR. Previously, I think this is definitely a killer app for VR. I think this is going to be an app where people are getting a VR headset just to play this.
What about if it's lightsabers?
It's a beat saber.
Be lightsabers. Like
before this, there was Audio Shield, and that didn't do as great as this. But this has really pushed forward to that kind of rhythm-based VR game. I think the previous killer app was kind of gone, but I think that didn't have kind of the mainstream appeal as Beat Saber, whereas like it's kind of like looking at like with a Wii, like Wii Sports versus what was that game? No More Hero. What was that? What was that game where it's just that Wii game where it's super violent for no reason? Because the thing with Gorn is it's really fun to play, but it's also not a game you could pull out apart and be like, yeah, just beat the shit out of all of these gladiators.
Top of the Pops.
Top of the Pops.
It just says Top Pop. I'm assuming that means Top of the Pops.
I think it wasn't No More Heroes like the one super violent game on Wii.
Was it a popular one? Was it?
Yeah.
So you can kind of walk up, do cars.
Oh, I do vaguely remember this actually. Yeah.
It was like one of the only violent games on the Wii, but basically what I'm trying to say is this is more like a mainstream game because of how it functions. It's a rhythm game.
Its rating is going to be for everyone.
There's no like dividing lines where it's like, I can't play this game. It's got an age rating. It's too violent or whatever. This is just.
And everyone loves Star Wars.
Yeah. Oh no. Moving on, sources. I read on Kotaku that sources say Microsoft is close to buying Obsidian Entertainment. Obsidian is best known for RPGs like Knights of the Old Republic
2,
2004, and of course they made one of the best Fallout games, Fallout New Vegas, in 2010. Before Bethesda got their grubby hands back on.
They made
Bethesda Studios.
They
started developing again.
Yeah. This is might be close.
We'll have to see. What I written down here was on my notes. This would tie into Microsoft E3's presentation, where we saw I think it was 4 or 5 studio acquisitions. We had
the We Happy Few one.
The We Happy Few, and I think they bought the Forza one as well.
Yeah.
They had They had basically had a bunch of studio acquisitions, and it was in line.
Didn't they play Team Ninja or Ninja, whatever the one was that made the I can't remember what it was called.
Oh, Mark of the Ninja.
No, it wasn't Mark of the Ninja. I think
it was.
I think it was as well, but I think the other one. The one that made the Norse.
What are they called?
What was the game called?
Clay Entertainment? Isn't that the one?
Yeah, I think
they didn't get Clay Entertainment, did they?
I don't think so.
No.
I'm thinking of the one that came out the game this year. That was people were saying
State of Decay. I think they got that studio.
Yeah, they did that. They had that.
Let's have a look. Who was that studio? Undead Labs. They definitely acquired them.
Is it Ninja Theory?
Oh, isn't that Sasuna Blade Sacrifice?
Yeah, I just don't. The name
Hellblade Sasuna Sacrifice.
Yes.
Yeah, they also acquired that studio. So they acquired a bunch of studios, and it looks like they're trying to acquire more studios to get more games for Xbox One and the Windows 10 Microsoft platform. So if that can revitalize games back into that,
I like
interesting.
Microsoft's current strategy of we're going to just release it for both our console and Windows.
Yeah, they already own. They already own the only gaming platform there is other than Linux.
Because I disagree massively with Jim saying because they're doing this, it makes the Xbox a little bit shit. I disagree. I don't think it detracts from it at all. Yes, there's no exclusives for it. You can just get a console, but if you already have an Xbox, because these Windows exclusives are not coming to PlayStation either.
Well,
if you've only got a console, it's still a console exclusive, so it's still not shit.
Well, it seems like more and more Microsoft's turning the Xbox into a Windows 10 machine, basically. So we're going to come to this point where they're one and the same, pretty much.
I will say the thing that I do agree with you saying that it is a little bit shit, that their first-party games are too much like third-party games, whereas Sony understands the first-party games can be different, and you get way more money from doing that.
I think Nintendo has a lot of first-party games that are quite similar as well.
But yeah, Sony
Sony
and Nintendo have the same format for like using their first-party games to sell their platform. Microsoft needs to do that as well, but instead they've been making shit first-party games.
I'll move on to our last topic, which is Dirt Rally 2.0 has been announced. That will be coming out in February 26th, 2019. If you're a fan of the Dirt Rally games, we're getting another one. Dirt Rally 2.0. You will get to go through the iconic rally locations from across the globe.
Is that Volkswagen Polo?
I have no idea.
I don't know much about rallying.
I don't know anything about cars. So. Well, we've got some screenshots and it looks good. A lot of people loved the Dirt Rally game, so an updated version of that. That's great to see.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to the outro. So if you want to watch the VOD on YouTube,
the most important timestamp.
Everything in between podcast on YouTube. If you've missed us live, we are twitch.tv/Scorn on Sundays at 2. Ish. Also, to mention, there will be a spotlight video on the YouTube channel where we talk through a game you may not have seen, or maybe a game from our childhood, and we talk about that for about 20 minutes. And then I will post everything on the Twitter, letting you know all the news about it on @Scorn2000. So, as the end of this week's podcast, goodbye.
Bye.